I love and admire women, but I love and admire the romantic archetypal women of literature, culture, and myth more than any physical woman, especially more than the modern woman. Thus, as a wordsmith, it's possible that my true love and the thing that sets my spirit alight, first and foremost, is my art form. Thus, this channel could be deemed more than mere commentary, but part of the greater journey of self-discovery and an outlet for expression of my poetic passions. I love and admire the beauty of Helen of Troy, the heart of Arwen, the passion of Joan of Arc. I love the belief that Adrian has in Rocky. I love the initial fascination that Alicia and Skylar have for the genius of John Nash and Will Hunting, respectively. These women, these ideal archetypes, are the women worth loving, fighting, and dying for. They are the women that brilliant and heroic men have loved, fought for, and died for. Given I've never been a natural alpha male, or at the most I am a masculine male with some alpha mindset tendencies, yet coupled with some crippling frustrations that have stunted my development in life to this point, thus the best archetype I can hope to emulate is probably the Sigma, especially given my inclination towards being an introspective and observant intellectual. I realize that declaring oneself to be or not be a certain something eventually affirms that to be true. But then again, how much attention ought to be paid to the liberating malleability of circumstances as opposed to the binding of solidified facts? If fortune does favour the bold and the brave, it is surely bolder and braver to pursue the satisfaction of one's personal passions rather than the satisfaction of one's carnal urges, which get disguised as romantic passion or love. This is a decision that many an artist or creative would have had to make at some point in their life. Creative pursuits of significant quality require a lot of mental energy and focus. Mental energy and focus that to a certain degree would have to be diverted to a woman if a relationship were to develop. The character of the Trojan hero Aeneas from Virgil's Aeneid could be considered one of mythology's supreme creators, a symbolic founding father of one of history's greatest empires. Yet at one point in the tale, he has to make a choice between settling for the infatuated love of Dido, the queen of Carthage, or fulfilling his destiny as prophetically foretold by the gods, his fated purpose being the discovery of Italy and to set in motion the founding of the civilization that would become the Roman Empire. Thus, Aeneas was a direct ancestor of the twin founders of the empire, Romulus and Remus. Dido is distraught at being abandoned by Aeneas, but she must understand it is the will of the gods that he has to fulfill his life task, fulfill the prophecy. If Aeneas were to reject the call to adventure, his life would be devoid of its deeper meaning, the deeper meaning that was mapped out for him. The wife of any hero, fictional or real, knows that to follow his path into battle is his highest calling, whether she likes it or not. So she knows he must leave her and will respect him infinitely more for doing what they both know he must do. The archetype of the hero and his wife is perhaps most simply demonstrated in the Rocky franchise by Rocky and Adrian. Following the first fight between Rocky Balboa and his nemesis Apollo Creed, the physical damage to both fighters is substantial, especially Rocky, leading to the presumption that he is punch drunk and at risk of going blind if he ever fights again. When his new wife Adrian falls pregnant, Rocky goes about the process of searching for a more stable and less dangerous job. Yet because all he's ever done is fight, he is not equipped to do anything other than menial labour. When he is eventually laid off from a short-term role at an abattoir, he begins to lose hope and suggests that he wants to fight again. Concerned for the health of her husband, Adrian rejects his suggestion and starts back at work herself. This affects Rocky's mental health and makes him feel useless because he wishes to be a traditional provider for his family, but is wrestling with the turmoil of doubts about his capacity to still do so in the only way he knows how. He knows he needs the money and needs to scratch that competitive itch. Whilst Rocky understands and appreciates that Adrian is protecting him, he feels she is also emasculating him by not allowing him to fulfill the destiny of another fight. In a reflection of traditional gender polarity and the classic cultural motif, Adrian even says she doesn't want Rocky to fight, but he stands firm and says that it is all he knows. Then he pleads with her that he never asked her to stop being a woman, so she shouldn't ask him to reject the call to adventure and stop being a man. Rocky and his old trainer Mickey get back in the gym after a rematch with Creed is scheduled. But Rocky is not focused. His mind is elsewhere. He knows that Adrian doubts him, and it impacts on the quality of his workouts. Mickey notices this and gets angry at Rocky, telling him he is wasting his time if he is not going to fully commit to training as hard or harder than he did before. But nothing is getting through to Rocky, and he's just floating through the preparation. Just as things seem like they can't get any worse, Adrian falls ill from being stressed and overworked, leading to premature labor and delivery of her baby. Adrian is then in a coma for an extended period, and Rocky is extremely worried, reaching out to his religious faith for guidance. Perhaps in an instance of divine intervention, Adrian wakes up and is thankfully all right. Shortly after, when the couple are bonding with their newborn child, Rocky explains to Adrian that he is willing to give up fighting if that is what she wants. But Adrian reacts unexpectedly and tells Rocky that the one thing she wants him to do is win the fight. This signifies a realization that Rocky must pursue his destiny and regain greater purpose, passion, and fulfillment in his life. Naturally, this demonstration of faith emboldens Rocky and gives him the added impetus he needs to train with more vigor and intensity than ever before, ultimately leading to him being better prepared to fight Creed and reach the metaphorical zenith by becoming heavyweight champion of the world for the first time. Sometimes, all a creative man wants and needs is a woman who believes in him and believes in his vision, even if it has not yet materialized, because that indication of support will embolden him in his attempt to actualize his vision and achieve his purpose. In the relentless pursuit of his purpose, man will surely cross the path of many women eager to test his conviction and discipline. In remaining unmoved by such tests, man can remain focused on his task, and evidently that unbroken focus makes him irresistible to the women who test him. Man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. He is a creator of a better life, and needs to forge and follow his pathway to alleviate his angst, in spite of a lack of tangible success or elevated risk. Such is my passion for the topics I discuss that I've started a Patreon, because I know that passion won't fade. So if you've enjoyed the video or find my analysis and insight valuable, please consider showing some support and join the discussion of upcoming video essay topics and future book reviews. Your recommendations would be welcome. Follow the link in the video description below or on the channel About page under links. Thank you very much for the feedback and support you've shown thus far.